so extra, but I know I'm the same.
What's up, everybody? What is up? It's your girl EJ, and y'all, today we're going to be talking about Power Book 4 Force. And we're going to be doing a rewatch over the episodes because I can't remember what happened. So we're just going to go back and take a look and see what we can see. And then we're going to discuss the episodes. I'm going to bring my girls in to talk about it. Give me just a second, get everybody up. I got my girl Tika Deshawn. Hey.
What's good, EJ? What's good, everybody?
Got my girl Candy Love. Hey,
Hi,
Candy.
hi. What's going on? Hi, Tika.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
And then I got my girl Tamika's Den is in the building. Hey, Tamika.
Hey. Okay.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good,
All
good,
right.
good.
All right, all right.
So, y'all, to be fair, I can't remember half the stuff I did yesterday. So, trying to remember what happened on Power Book 4, just it's over my head because I only looked at it one time. So, so I said, let's just do a rewatch on it and see, see how we feel about it this go around. So, guys, did you feel any different when you watched it? Like, what were your initial feelings anyway? Let's just talk about that for a second. How do you feel about Force? How's it going for you, Candy? You go ahead and start.
I don't want to say I was underwhelmed, but I was underwhelmed. However, because I love Tommy so much, I enjoyed the season as much as I could. I had tried to understand what was going on. It's a different formula from the original Power, but I did enjoy it nonetheless. I watched every episode. I might have watched them 2 or 3 times, so I did give it a good chance. So I enjoyed it. It was just underwhelming.
That's what's up. What about you, Tika?
Well, y'all know I'm a Tommy fan regardless. So he can do the worst TV show and I'm still gonna watch it like, oh, that's still Tommy. But I mean, I enjoyed it. My expectations weren't high because it is a new show and coming off of Power itself, you're gonna have to bring the heavy hitters. And I was looking at the cast of people that they have, within it, and it wasn't like a whole bunch of people that we're really familiar with. So I was like, okay, let me just give it a chance. Let me give that opportunity to see how they introduce us to each character, and then looking for season 2, then I'll be like, okay, I hate it or I love it.
Yeah, I think we do need to give it a season 2 and kind of see where they go from there. Tamika, what are your thoughts on it?
I initially the first time around, I was super excited because Tommy's like one of my favorite characters, so I was all in on it. Even I remember starting it out because I did review the first season. I was still sticking with it. I thought it had a strong start, and then later on, I was kind of like, okay, with some of these things that's happening here, and I literally just finished watching the 2 episodes right before I got up here. And I still kind of felt like it started out okay, but I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't think I would have rewatched it if you ain't asked me if I wanted to come here to talk about the rewatch. I had no intentions. I just was kind of like, we're going to see what season 2 do. But
Okay.
rewatching it, I was okay with how the first 2 episodes started.
Okay, that's what's up. So, what's up to everybody in the chat? Hey, Tina, thank you for dropping by. And anybody else who is maybe not in the chat, but you're listening, thank you guys for stopping by to talk about Power with us. So, the first episode, when it first kind of comes on, we see that Tommy is kind of, flashbacking. We're getting all the things that kind of went down before he, goes off to Chicago. And they even threw in a clip of Holly because, I always felt like that Holly thing was one of the biggest things with Tommy. Like I felt like that was one of those things that he didn't want to do, but he knew he had to do, and I felt like that always did something to him. So they even show that they show Ghost, of course, and then Keisha, and just all this stuff that's happening, and then we see him ride off to Chicago, and then we learn that he's there to see someone. So I'm not really gonna stay like in a super order per se, because I don't even think I got all of my slides. Y'all know how that go. Hey, DeMarcus, but When we first kind of meet with the new characters, I want to kind of shift to those. Denard, not Denard, Diamond. I just put him and his brother's name together. Diamond. When we first meet Diamond, he's still in prison and he's about to get out. So, what was your initial impression of Diamond? What do you think about this character just in general? Tamika, you go ahead and start.
Diamond had you curious. Well, had me curious. I was like, okay, what's he gonna be about? We see in the setup that he obviously is just coming out and saying he's a new person, he's different, he's not the person that he was. So I was intrigued by his character. I wanted to see where he was gonna go. And I know there's no replacing Ghost, that's like without a doubt, but I felt like I liked the chemistry between him and Tommy, and they seemed to be kind of filling each other out when they got introduced to each other. So I was just still kind of like, okay, we're gonna see where he going. What's his story gonna be about?
Exactly. I was interested in him too as well. I still think that he's going to be a really strong character. If anything, I love Tommy, so I'm always going to look at the show just for the fact that Tommy is there, regardless of anything that I think. I'm going to make the best out of just Tommy being there. But I really do like this character, Diamond. He's like my second favorite character. Tika, what you got on Diamond? What you think about Diamond?
Okay, so initially when I saw Diamond, of course, background, I used to work in the prison system, so I understood the way he was talking to the CO in regards to I'm raising the razor, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But
Mhm.
then if you stop and kind of listen, the old man whose hair he's cutting, he's like giving him a lesson, like as if he's been mentoring him his entire time in prison. So
Yeah.
I like that they gave us a realistic scene between Diamond and the gentleman whose hair he was cutting. But then I was like, something's going to happen to him before he even walked out the doors, because as you can see, we had his little haters sitting down in the pod plotting on him. So I'm like, I know they didn't show us this character just to take him out already, or to do something so that somebody's going to have to exact revenge on somebody. But then anyway, they allowed him to walk out the doors. CO got over because he got those $180+ Jordans. And then we meet his brother. He walked out stellar. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm a G. I'm gonna walk out on this cold ground. So I have the respect for Diamond. Like, I wanted him to go the straight and narrow path. I wanted him but of course, he really didn't have a choice in the direction that he's going in. But I'm loving his character, period. Tall, fine. Let me get my fan out. Hold up.
Okay, girl, he is that. I was like, I didn't want to be the first one to say it. I was like, I'm gonna let somebody else say it first. So I say it. What up, Candy? What you got on Diamond?
He was about like Tika. I was listening to him, well, watching and listening to how he spoke to the CO, how he handled the razor blades, and was cutting the guy's hair and speaking to him. His mannerism was not of a person that should have been in prison, but then again, it's maybe he's like that now because of the time that he was there. He seemed well, reserved, laid back, cool, calm, collected. You can tell he's ready to get out and don't want to go back. You can tell that about him. But when he walks out with no shoes on, his brother ready to, do what he got to do. Cause it's like, why you got no shoes on? What's going on? So you could tell his brother is the hothead and he's more of the laid back one, kind of reserved. He's fine. Fine. Fine.
Yes, he is.
And I enjoy him throughout the those two episodes.
That's what's up. What up, Demarcus? Demarcus, only you always be on the opposite side, like every single time. I only you would like Jannard, but I'm gonna let you make it with that one. I understand though. Okay. Hey, Daria. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, girl. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna see that, of course, like I think Tika said that the haters came out, of course. So we saw that Rojas was there, and he was like, we gonna let him get comfortable, let him get outside. So we knew, of course, there was some beef there. And then we're gonna move on to Tommy. Tommy's gonna make it there, and then we're gonna meet this character, Gloria, right? Who low key, like and I know we've all seen it, so it's really hard to talk about a show when you done seen it already and you know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna try to keep it here. But I really like this character, Gloria. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting dynamic between her and Tommy when they first met each other, and I liked the little fire in her that she had. Did you guys have any like big thoughts on Gloria when you first met her, or did you think she was going to be a major part of the show, or not? Tamika, you go ahead and start.
She seemed like somebody that was level headed and was about her business. Straightforward to the point, whether she was talking to Tommy, whether she was talking to one of the little side henchmen, whether she was talking to what's his name? I don't forgot his name that
Vic.
fast. The son. Vic.
Oh, Vic, yeah.
Yeah, she was always being straight up with him. It kind of felt like he was being in a fairy tale world and she was setting him straight, like, boy, it don't work like that. We both know it don't work like that. So I did like that aspect of her
Yeah.
character. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, y'all. So let's move on to the Flynns because we're gonna meet the Flynns. Speaking of Victor, so we're gonna meet Victor is going to pop up on Tommy. He's gonna pop up to the club or what the bar. I'm sorry, I want to say the club. He pops up to the bar to collect money, and he and Tommy have an encounter. Now I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Victor was my least favorite character on here. I thought he was such trash. I'm just like, dude, like it don't even like what how is he parked here going to stop you from going in said building? What I just didn't get it. It was just too much for me. Tika, talk about Victor and our first encounter meeting him. What'd you think about him? What'd you think about that entire scene?
It was a whole, like, everybody was a street bully. Like, if you go back a little bit in the very beginning, Tommy pulls up in front of his grandmother's home and there's the street bully
Yeah.
with the freaking chair and the vacuum cleaner as parking spots, and you got to pay for parking. So it's almost as if when they rolled up on Tommy, it was like a sense of entitlement, like, you should know who I am, therefore you need to move your vehicle. But Tommy is like, bruh, I don't know you like that, so why is it that I should have to move? You know what I mean? But the interaction was comical. Of course, Tommy gonna make his jokes, and I mean, I was hoping that there wouldn't be a blicky come out immediately. You know what I mean? Just progress. Let's see where his character was going, and let's see what Tommy, how much more Tommy was going to interact with this crew.
Yeah. So we also meet Polly and we meet Simon as well. I believe his name is the two guys that are with him. Polly looks to be maybe like his father's number two. I don't know exactly what you would call him exactly. I'll say number two, but the person who kind of makes sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go. But so we meet him, and him and Tommy kind of have an interaction, and he tells Tommy like, "Look, hey, I'm gonna need you. It's best that you leave after this, because he's basically telling him that you don't want no smoke with his family." I don't know if it was just me, or I felt like I was gonna see a family who was just cutthroat and just so cold. Like I was just waiting on them to just come through. But I didn't get that from the Flynns. Like Victor is a joke. Let's just keep it real. Simon, their little flunky, he's a joke. Like Walter is dying and Claudia is a joke. You know what I'm saying? May got more heart than all of them, to be fair. What you think of the Flynn family, Candy?
They're a set of marshmallows. They are very soft. They are no good. They just all talk. The Victor, that's the brother, that's the son, right? Yeah, he is all talk and that's it. All bark, no bite. The father, of course, he's losing it. And Claudia, I think she, like you said, she might be the one with the biggest heart. Because I think she did have some bodies in the season.
Yeah. At some point,
Yeah. So she's about the toughest one out of all of them. They really fooled us. They talk a big talk, but that's it.
Yeah.
They let Tommy come in and wreck shop with no problem.
For sure. Certain places in Chicago, like Northside and downtown, people is serious about parking. I guess so, girl, because
Yeah.
they was doing a lot with that parking. Uh Family of backstabbers. Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
Claudia is more of a G than any of them. I will definitely give her that. You know,
Yes.
so let's see. So let's go to the meet. So of course, Tommy is gonna have an encounter with Simon because we knew that he just wasn't gonna let that go and that he was gonna do something. And so he found his chance to do his something, and he goes out there. He breaks old dude hand, arm, something I don't know, but something was broke. And then he gets the meet location, and he goes to the meet, and pulls up on Vic. And that's another reason why I say that Vic is just like, how you gonna be in this game and let somebody just roll up on you like that? Like, it was just crazy to me. Tamika, what did you think about this whole encounter where we see Tommy come to the meet? When they get into the meet, Jannard is there and the Yardies. What did you think about that scene? Or break it down,
I was
however you want to do
I
it.
was trying to see where they was going with it because we kind of seen Tommy keep saying like, I'm not here for long. I'm in and out. I just stopped here for something. I really don't care what y'all got going on. So him kind of just jumping into this, and we already knew that Vic was a sucker. And then I felt like when he got here and they end up, meeting up with these two boys that obviously was clueless. He's like, y'all never did no deals before, and we see Jannard. They both seemed like they wasn't, about their business or really knew who was going on either. And he had to step in and, save the day with them. And I was expecting more from the friends too. Like, I don't know. To me, I feel like all the power shows, honestly, either the quote unquote villains or bad guys or whoever's supposed to be, the opposing people, they either start out real strong and then there's a disappointment, or in this case, I just felt like they was kind of weak with their introduction from the get-go. It's like you hearing Paulie tell him you don't want to find out who the Flynns are. So when we see in the Flynns, it's like I'm expecting, them to be about their business. And obviously Vic was just like trying to, act like he's impressed and he got things handled, but he ain't have nothing handled at all.
Not at all.
Exactly. He really is a tryhard, trying way too hard.
Yes.
It's almost like he don't want to do it, and he just doing it because his daddy want him to do it. But it's almost like he don't even want to be a part of it. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. So Tommy, like you said, saves the day, and he takes the money. He ends up taking the money and going off, and Jannard, but all of them just looking crazy. Because I think his gun actually got jammed or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, y'all would
Yeah.
have been gone,
Mhm.
unalived, if it
For real.
wasn't for Tommy. Let me see what
And
the
he
chat
took the
got.
product.
That part.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Uh,
took the product too. Like,
okay, Jannard and Vic was looking like rookies when Tommy stepped in the room, and Tommy is new in town. Exactly. It's just
exactly.
crazy. The family isn't tight, no honor among the family, so it's not too difficult to have them turn on each other. Oh, of course, yeah. You can tell right from the jump that Claudia, she wants to be in charge. Her dad is in this old mindset of thinking that women can't be in charge. He has this son who clearly doesn't want to be in charge and who clearly doesn't have the street sense to do this job, but his daughter probably has more street sense than he does, even though she mess up too. But I'm just saying she better than Vic.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh,
So
most definitely.
so let's see. So after this, and I think I want to shift to Tommy, back to Tommy. And we know that he went there to see his grandmother, right? He went there to see his grandmother. He's going to find his grandmother. She's going to be at a home. And there's going to be a point where we're going to see that there's going to be a man there, and that man is going to come out and ask Tommy, what is he doing there? And then he's like, I'm her grandson. And then he's like, I'm her grandson. And this is where we see that Tommy has a brother, guys, from his mama. So brother, not even,
Yes.
can you say that? This is brother. And
a real
what y'all
brother.
think about that? What you think about that, Candy? What you think about that whole
Kate
that
trifling?
storyline?
Kate trifling. It was random. It was like I don't know, because they just threw that in there for some reason. I guess Kate liked dark meat too. I didn't think she liked them, but the way she treated Keisha in the original Power, she thought Keisha was a maid, but I
But she
didn't.
loved Ghost.
It was random. It was
Yeah,
like a
that's
random
what I
toss
was about
in.
to say. She always had a love for ghosts, but that was
Yeah, I
random.
guess because she knew him as a child, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Torque Sterling says, I think it was rushed. So yeah, it's like it was threw in there for some reason. Maybe we'll find something next season for it. I don't
Mm.
know.
I don't know. It feels like they want to give Tommy this family. I was really hoping that they weren't
Mhm.
trying to really, because he and Ghost always had this brotherhood, right? This my brother, because Ghost stayed with them. So I felt like they were trying to give him a brother, but it just felt so, I don't know, it just felt forced to me,
Yes.
ironically. But it really did feel forced. But nevertheless, we're here now. We not the writers, so but that's just how it felt for the moment. But we're
Right.
here. We got this brother. His name is JP, and he wants to know his mom. Like, he wants to know who his mom is and all of this stuff. And pretty much Tommy, like, you don't want to know her. Like, he really, like, you do not want to know her. You ain't missing out on anything. And initially you kind of see where Tommy really maybe doesn't really want to engage in another relationship. I thought it was because he just lost his brother. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think he wanted to, make any more connections. Um, so we're gonna see that he's going to where does he go back to? Y'all, I'm sorry. I can't read my own notes. Oh, and Kate trifling ass did tell him that he was dead. She told
She did. Yes. Yes.
I mean, not Kate,
The
not Kate.
daddy.
His daddy told him that his
Yeah, the
mama was
daddy.
dead. So I was gonna say that they
Yes.
both trifling. Like, you
They
gonna tell him
are.
that his
Yeah.
mama dead? Like, come on
Yes.
now. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, that was on my notes, and I was like, come on. So we're gonna see that Jannard and Diamond. We're gonna shift back to these guys because they're gonna get to the barbershop, and Jannard buys his brother a barbershop. Now, initially, because we know what happens later, but I thought that he, was doing this, like, okay, my brother is a barber. I'm gonna get him a barbershop. He owns the barbershop. And all this stuff. And it looks, but you can tell that he doesn't want to let go of this power. How would you feel if you had been running something all this time and then the big boy come back and you have to give up that power? Do you think you'd be able to give up that power, Tika? Do you think he's wrong, basically?
No, Jannar is not wrong for how he feels. The way he's handling it, I think he's wrong, but his brother went away. He left him in control. He left him in charge of everything, and he literally is the big boss. Everybody is answering to him. So now it's like getting a demotion. You are replaced by the original owner. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it again, I think there was a better way for Jannard to handle how he's dealing with his brother. But I guess at the end of the day, brothers do fight. You know what I mean? So we'll see how much more trouble Jannard can get in.
Okay. Okay. Tamika, what you think about Jannar? What's your first impression of this cat? As we get to see him a little bit more in this episode.
Yeah, on the one hand, it's like, oh, my big brother's home again. I'm happy. This is what we built. This is what we've been doing. On the other hand, he comes off like he's just annoyed, and of course he's doesn't want to have to like repeat things and break everything down for him. It's like, oh, I already told you about that, and you definitely see kind of that power struggle where Diamond is saying, I'm back now. So now, thanks for holding it down, but I could kind of take over certain aspects and we're not going to do it that way that you've been doing it because that's not working for me. And you can see that he's not feeling, what he's saying to him. So you can already see that it's going to be a power struggle with them. I agree with Tika. I don't, you're going to feel how you feel, but it's the way you go about handling it.
Absolutely. Nah, I wholeheartedly 100% agree with you guys. Okay, so a couple of last things on this episode because in this episode, actually, a lot of stuff didn't happen. They kind of just mainly introduced a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, and that was pretty much it. We did see that Diamond is going to get a visit from a police officer at the end. He's going to come into the shop. Diamond's telling him like, "Look, we're not open, but you can come back." But then you can get the feeling that this guy knows him, or that there's some kind of beef that he has with him. And then we kind of see his badge. What did you think about that particular part, Tika? What did you think about this guy?
I was like, why are you coming in here messing with this man? Initially, my impression once Diamond got to the barbershop, I was feeling like he didn't want any part of his old world. He didn't want any parts of his old life. He just wanted to cut hair and live. He didn't want to go back to prison. But then you got this dude coming in here trying to, give a little put strong arm him, so to speak, arm him without strong arming him because he didn't say a whole lot. He was just acting as if I know you. There's something, and as if he initially, as if Diamond did something personally to him.
Yeah.
So I was just like, bruh, leave the barbershop. Like, leave him alone. That was me talking to the screen. Just leave him alone.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Let him
Yeah, he
be.
was just doing too much.
It
Like,
really was. It
it's
was a
like he was
weird.
picked on in school, and now I'm a cop. I got a little bit of weight, and now I'm finna terrorize you. That's how he was
Exactly.
acting. Like he was the picked on kid, the little scrawny kid in school, and you know, now I got a badge. I can,
Exactly.
send you back the way you just come from. That's how he act. Like, sir, go
Exactly.
away,
You could
go
tell that
away.
he definitely had some sort of bone to pick with him, and you was like, okay, we know there's a story here for sure. And then I want to say one of the last things that happened in this particular episode was when Tommy was getting ready to leave, actually. And when he gets ready to leave, he gets rolled up on. The Flynn's roll up on him, or Polly rolls up on him and told him like, "Hey, I told you you should leave." And then he takes him back to good old Walter Flynn, y'all. So, Candy, what do you think about Tommy and Walter's interaction? Because pretty much what I sensed was he was cleaning up his son's mess, but this is the person you want to be in charge. Come on now.
Um, I think Tommy handled it well. He handled Flynn like he would handle anybody else. He didn't show any fear towards him. He, let him know what time it was and gave him his money back. They gave him his money. Yeah, he
Yeah,
gave him the money back. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I think he handled him like a G. He kind of checked him per se
yeah.
because he
Tommy
wasn't scared at all.
was I felt like he was looking at his surroundings, trying to see, like basically getting a feel for it. He knew he was he knew he was outnumbered. He wasn't gonna come up in
Hmm.
there with no shenanigans. But
But
I
his
did
mouth
like how
ain't.
he handled himself. And I did find it interesting that the daddy felt the need to always clean up this young man's messes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
The
anyway,
one he
that was
wants in
kind of
charge.
yeah, that was kind of the end of that episode, y'all. Like that episode literally was just an introduction. It wasn't a whole lot going on. And that's why I don't think I was real quick to judge that first episode because I was like, okay, really didn't too much happen, but I'm excited to see what goes on next. So, us moving on to the next episode, we're going to see that from the jump. Well, first and foremost, Tommy is reminiscing. He's still in his mind, about all the things that have happened from, in OG Ghost. But we're going to see that JP's club is going to get shot up. Tamika, talk to me about JP and this club, and why do you think he called Tommy? Like, what do you think is going on with this whole thing?
Well, me and Tommy was trying to figure out why he called him. I mean, he just one, he was in shock, just like Tommy. They both was kind of in shock, finding out about each other. I think not only did his dad lie to him about Kate being, deleted, but then Tommy thought his grandmother was going all this time too, until going there. And then, like you said, you could see that he was kind of like fighting it off. I think he threw away the number. He really wasn't trying to be bothered like that. But I felt like that was a big piece why he stayed, because I think Tommy even though he tried to act hard and he's always kind of been a loner besides being with Ghost, who was somebody he considered to be his brother, like to know that he had family, I think that do make an impact on him. But he tried to act like, oh, don't jump too far ahead on that, because he's like, I called you because you was the first number I came across and we family. It's like, nah, don't rush and say, we want some family stuff. But then you see he's trying to offer him money. He's trying to be, helpful in a way that he think could be helpful. Like, I got you. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, there's been going on. So somebody's targeting you. You don't, have no security, nobody that you have helping out with those things. And of course, we start finding out about JP having debt and all different kind of stuff. So at that point, I was still curious and trying to figure out, okay, what are we exactly, doing with this character? How we gonna bring them together? Because I don't remember him by his name, but I know that is a very good actor. So I'm like, okay, let's, see what we gonna be going with this whole story.
Yeah.
And how they gonna, bring it all together still at that point.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite moments in that scene was when JP talks about his husband, and then he tries to figure out, like, he kind of does this thing where he wants to see how Tommy's gonna react. He was like, "You got a problem with that?" He's like, "Nope, an X is an X."
Right.
I was like, Tommy just be having those one-liners. They be so good. So anyway, moving on from that. So Tommy gives him the money and tells him to get his windows fixed, and then he's basically gonna go try to make some money. So we're gonna see. You know what? Before we go to when he goes to the barbershop, we're gonna find out that Walter Flynn is sick, y'all. We're gonna find out that something is wrong with him. His oncologist has called him, and so we know that he may not have a lot of time, because he doesn't even seem like he even want to go to the doctor. Like he feels like he's actively avoiding going to the doctor. Let me see what Matt said. JP Slow should have got a bulletproof glass after the first. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. You are right about that. Definitely. But Tika, what did you think about the fact that he doesn't want his daughter to know about this? And he makes a very bold statement to Vic when Vic says that he'll treat it as his own. He basically lets him know, hell no, you won't. What did you think about that scene? Kind of talk to us about it.
Listen, the attitude that Papa Flynn gave in the beginning, I was like, okay, how much longer we got to see you then? Because all this coughing and you mistreating your family, even in the very beginning, it was as if he literally controlled everything, every aspect of their lives. And I was just like, this attitude, like, can they at least put him in the hospital or something? But I guess that's the nature of having a father that's a mob boss. You know what I mean? You just accept it and keep moving. So I was like, okay, well, this is who we stuck with for a little while. Let's just see how much more go, or see what else goes on with his character.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely, in my opinion, is doing the most when it comes to his son and trying to force him. It just feels like when you try to force people to do something, it don't ever work out right. Like, it never works out the way that it's like how you want it to. How you gonna be unalive and then try to tell somebody that they gotta run stuff the way that you want it to be run? I'm like, bruh, come on now.
Yeah.
Let's do better.
And bringing up, what did he bring up? Ireland? He gets in Ireland. He kept bringing them up, like, run it the way they want it ran.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't know. He just old school, and I get that, but at the same time, I don't know. Me and Walter was not seeing eye to eye straight from the jump. Straight from the moment we met that character.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So let's shift back to Diamond and Jannard, because Tommy's actually going to go pay them a visit. And we're going to see a couple of characters. We're going to meet another character. We're going to meet, what is his name? Elijah, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, with the dreads. I think his name is Elijah. I might be wrong, but we'll go with that for now until
Jannard's friend?
Yeah, Jannard's his second, technically, who would have been his second, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think it's Elijah.
I just call him Jeremiah. I call him by his real name, so.
Oh, okay, by his real name. Yeah. But we're gonna meet him, and then we're also going to meet D-Mac, and we're going to meet, I don't know what that other little joker name is. I just keep calling him Bakari. We're gonna meet Bakari from the sky.
He is the same character on both shows, so
he really is. Because
A
when I
menace.
saw him, that's what I thought. I said, that's Bakari. I said, that's it. I don't care what his name is. He Bakari. But so Tommy comes in and he basically, gives them the, he makes a play because you know what he's trying to do. So what'd you think about that whole situation, Tamika? How did you feel about that scene, or kind of break that scene down rather?
Listen, Tommy gonna be Tommy no matter where he going, what he doing. So I know it kind of, threw them off, and they trying to protect their territory. Jannar trying to figure out like what's really up with you, and Diamond is like, why the heck, would you come in and bring this back to us. So I mean, as far as them checking him and pulling out, I would expect them to do that because at the end of the day, they don't know you from a hole in the wall. But Tommy's like, this ain't worth you getting taken out over. Trust me, it's not gonna be me that's gonna go down. It's gonna be you. But I felt like they should have had a level of respect that he came and did it. But I also can see, like, okay, this is weird. First you took the stuff, now you bringing the stuff back. So I got them reacting that way to him. You know, at this point they still really didn't know him, but after I seen everything that happened in this episode, then I was even more annoyed with Dagon Jannard because I'm like, at the end of the day, Tommy really saved you like more than one time. And we really,
Yes, he
looking at
did.
everything. But yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So we're gonna see. This is the first time we're really going to see this power thing go down because, like we talked about earlier, Jannard wants to stay in control. I think the whole thing, money, power, respect. You know what I'm saying? Like the song says when it comes on, you give somebody this power and they don't want to let it go, even though he should have known it was temporary. Like Monique said, that he should have known that it was temporary, but yet even though he knows it's temporary, he don't want to let go of it. He got these little dudes out here looking up to him, doing what he say. Like he has this power, and we see that when the little boys come in there, they pull the gun on Tommy. And when Diamond tells them to put that gun down, like put the guns down, they don't listen to him. They don't
Right.
respect him. So what'd you think about that, Tika? What was your initial thoughts about how this was about to go down?
I mean, I expected it because Jannard was already he was running things. So they don't know Diamond like that. They didn't work under Diamond. So I expected them to come in and, support Jannard in that situation. Now the way Jannard handled, again, the way he handled his brother Dime is like he literally disrespected his brother in front of these youngsters. So now they're not gonna give him any respect at all until he says the word. But will he ever say the word? You know what I mean? So it's just I got a beef with Jannard because I got brothers and we don't supposed to be acting like that. Like if there's a problem, we need to discuss this out of mixed company. You know what I mean? Discuss it in behind closed doors, and then. But I guess it wouldn't be power book force, money, power, respect. You know what I mean? Powder, whatever. It wouldn't be none of that if we wanted it the way I wanted it. So.
No, I feel you. I completely understand.
Question.
Go
Do
ahead.
you all ever think that they discussed this when Diamond was in prison? Like, when I get out, I'm gonna be running it.
But it
Even
should
though he
be
don't want any
understood.
part of it.
Yeah, but
But I mean,
it should be understood.
how many years? 10, 15?
7 and then 17, yeah. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been a lot of years.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
15, I
And
believe.
yeah, so it's like it should be understood in a perfect world. But of course, this is power. So it's like, did they discuss that when he comes back that they're going to take this over? I guess it never was a discussion.
I don't
It
think
just it
Because the
was
way I see it
a should have
is
you gonna understand what time it is when I get home, even though he don't want any parts of it.
exactly.
the way I
So
see it is that when the person, like, he's in prison, but yet he still has like sort of how like Monet was running things, but yet she was still having to go to Lorenzo for certain things. Like, like he was still in charge, but she was just on the outside. I feel like that's the same way it kind of was with them. Like, I don't think he ever fully relinquished control. That's how I see it. But
it
I don't
makes
know.
sense.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Monet didn't want to give up her control either, so it makes sense.
Oh heck
It
no,
makes
she
sense.
wasn't. She wasn't trying to give that up at all. So we're gonna see that Diamond and Tommy, they're gonna take a walk, right? But you can kind of see that Diamond's trying to size Tommy up as well. Like he's trying to figure out exactly what his angle is. But as they're talking, we're gonna see that Rojas's goons, these are whack jokers, they gonna pop up on them and they're gonna take them hostage, and then they're gonna force them to do what Rojas wants them to do. So, Candy, what did you think about that scene? Kind of talk about the scene. What did you think about it?
Um,
Talk about what happened.
okay, so it was surprising that it happened that fast. Episode 2, it did catch him off guard. And it was what, a 3-hour time frame for them to distribute the product. I guess they had no choice but to do it. So I mean, he caught him off guard, and they had no choice but to oblige.
Yeah,
I like the end result though, but he had no choice.
For sure. Hey, Detroit, what up, though? Yeah, I mean, they really didn't have a choice. They pulled up on him. Tommy's like, "Is this for you?" And he's like, he don't know. But then he quickly realizes when they say Rojas's name that it's definitely for him, and he realizes that he has this beef. One of my favorite parts about that scene though was when they had Tommy tied up, and when dude comes behind him and he headbutts him, and he says, "Now I'm in it." But did those guys not come off to amateurs to you, Tamika? Like it was just a lot of things that didn't.
They
feel
were
right
so
about that.
amateur. Like I felt like Tommy was supposed to be able to slap all of them up in 2 seconds, but he went along with it, and I felt like he was just counting down. Like y'all don't even know it, but y'all gone already. It was just crazy how he just got swept up into that, and going and helping Diamond. I'm like, okay, because they did not seem threatening at all.
Everybody in there whack though. Everybody whack except Tommy. Like
yeah.
D-Mac. D-Mac?
Yeah, D-Mac.
D-Mac not whack, but everybody whack except for them two. Like
that's because
why?
D-Mac got Tommy blood. He from Tommy bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like he's somewhere down in there. He got a little bit of it in him. He from Kate bloodline. Say it like that.
Yeah, Kate. That's that Kate in him.
Got that Kate in him.
I like how Tommy was calling them on their stuff. Like you the dummy that took our hoods off. So now you put us in it. We didn't. I didn't even have to be a part of this. You put
exactly.
So, yeah, he was calling them on their edge. So it still brought the Tommy isms, the comedic side, and he showed them like I got this headbutt for you too. So yeah, I was laughing at that scene. I mean, like. Yeah, I laughed at that part.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, they was weak to me too.
Yeah.
I thought Rojas would have played a bigger role in the show. Seemed like a waste of a character. I can agree with that as well. I mean,
it could have been a hidden character.
Huh?
It could have been like somebody you don't see, because
it's just his crew was so weak. Like, look how easily Tommy, not even from there, but look how easily he was able to get back at them. Like, at one point, we see them with these infrareds, right? And I'm like, okay, y'all got all this heat, but how the heck did
it was exactly.
I don't think it's over though with Rojas. They because his two of his people are missing. So I think they're gonna have to at some point circle back around to deal with Rojas. Diamond put Rojas in that wheelchair. So that's gonna be a vengeance between a war between the two of them forever. Until Rojas is gone.
Yeah, I think he might pop back up, but I just don't think that he's no threat to not.
I would assume that that's how it would go, and I don't remember the other person, but the person that kept calling Tommy on the phone that he was supposed to meet in California, he basically was like, man, after he kept telling him he was on his way. I was wondering if he was gonna show back up in some type of way, because he was telling Tommy like, you supposed to be working for me, and Tommy was like, I don't work for nobody. I forgot all about that. I forgot about a lot of stuff with this.
That's why I said it was a lot. I was like, man, I don't remember anything that happened at all. When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I was like, oh, that did happen. But yeah, Detroit. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that he got. I mean, they got to circle back to that, like Tika said. So
Yeah.
something got to go down with that. They can't just let that go. It just can't happen the way that it
Right,
happened.
right.
At least I would hope not.
Especially when he
Anyway.
unalived 2 people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And y'all know what's so funny is that y'all know the first time I didn't notice that the girl was in the trunk too. I only noticed it this time.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
must have fell asleep. Hey,
Hey,
Moochie.
Moochie.
What's up, Moochie?
But so he has them running around. You know, we also meet more characters. Somebody said it earlier, and once again, y'all know I don't trash shows or anything like that. I enjoyed Force. It was cool. I do think that they could slow down or do slow down speed. It's just something is off. I don't know what it is just yet, but they just got to do something because we meet all of the other major players too, like as far as these characters, like they're just popping up and you're like, okay, dang, we just met the all the people that they dropped the product off to. All of those are major drug dealers, right? So we meet all these other characters and I'm like, I don't even have time to really consume who this person is, who this is, because we just got all these different things. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, I don't know none of these people's names because I couldn't digest it all.
Right.
So
It was a lot.
it was just a lot. It was a lot. Monique said it was too many moving parts in Force. I agree. Oh, and then she's speaking there. Okay, yeah. So they go get all the stuff delivered, but then Rojas's boys, they decide they gonna kidnap Jannard, right? So they take Jannard, and I'm just like, everybody just getting caught slipping. Like, what is going on? Like, how y'all live this lifestyle and just get caught slipping like this?
Right.
So they end up getting at him, and so like you said, Tamika, who ends up having to save his behind again?
Yet again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Again.
basically. I was like, I forgot that Tommy helped with all of this too, you know? So I'm like, you shouldn't be giving him no attitude. You should be thanking him. It
Exactly.
shouldn't be a problem in the world. Like, yo, he had my back and he didn't even know me from a hole in the world. That's what my attitude would have been.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But for some reason his attitude is more like he feel like Tommy is this threat
Right.
for whatever reason. But I guess we're gonna see that the reason why he kind of feel this way is more so because he got his own snake stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Mhm.
He kind of give me an older version of Kane from Power Book 2.
Exactly.
Jealous, mad.
White boy Tommy. So okay, so there was a part. Let's see. Let me go back. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna see that, of course, Tommy and JP, they're gonna have this moment where they're gonna be talking. He's gonna come back to the grandmother's house, and we're gonna see a young Tommy. We're gonna see little Tommy. Kate and he has the videos, and they're talking. And he tries to give him more money. I'm just gonna be real. Tommy can be my brother. Just go ahead and drop this cash on me, Tommy.
Okay.
JP tripping.
Facts.
How much you need?
I'm like, JP, you tripping right now.
For
Come on now.
real.
So we're gonna learn about JP's son. So because JP's gonna say, he said something about how could you leave your child or something like that. So talk about JP a little bit, Tika, and his backstory that we learn in this. We don't get like a full, but we get like some bits and pieces of him.
Well, firstly, I want to say shout out to Kate. She didn't have a problem with dipping in the chocolate. I don't know if that was if Kate was a woman of the streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what or how she connected to the father, but shout out to her. She got her one. JP, I'm still on the fence with JP because every time I turn around, JP tearing the house apart. He it's like, okay, I can't go that far because later on we're gonna find out there's some money at the house. But I'm like, does he know any of this stuff? Like, did the grandma confide in him and say, it's some stuff going on? So I'm still on the ledge about JP and Tommy's relationship. Maybe he's just, oh wow, I got family, I got somebody that I can connect. two plus two with. But I'm still open looking at JP with one eye open. Like I'm like, I don't know. I'm still, you know what I mean? So I don't have a whole lot to say about JP, but I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you.
Okay, got my eye on you, JP.
Yeah,
Mookie said
I
Kate was a
thought
stripper.
that conversation was interesting because I got it when he said, how could a parent leave their child? I would never do that. But then in the same sentence, you say, my son is 16. I haven't seen him since he was 2, which means it's 14 years he wasn't in his life, but you saying you've been trying to fight. And I'm like, okay, I guess like you want to be there for your son. And I know Brillo can't stand him because he like, how the heck you don't know your son is around? He always going in on JP. But yeah, that was kind of like how you said that in the same sentence. That means that you haven't been in your child life. But I guess he was saying like, it wasn't a choice for him, whereas Kate obviously made this choice that she was gonna leave, him. So
and I think we learned that he must have done some time or something.
yes.
So I felt like, okay, so I don't know what the circumstances behind your time is. Cause like I said, to me, this is like watching this for the first time. Just keep it real with y'all. It's like watching it for the first time for me. Cause I forgot a lot of things. So I don't know if we even learn later. Cause I don't remember, but however, at the same time, you're basically giving Kate this energy. We don't know why she left him. We really don't. We know that Kate ain't dealing with a full stack of cards, y'all. Like we all know. We know she ain't dealing with a full stack. We get that. But at the same time, whatever landed you where you was at might have been your choice. I don't know what happened. I don't know if but most of the time you might have made a choice and ended up where you was at, and you were away from your child for all of this time, and then you didn't even, and then you say that his mom took him away and all this stuff. So I get that. I just felt like it was the pot calling the kettle black. It was just it was different but the same. So I see exactly where you're coming from with that one.
I thought his mother, D-Mac's mom took him stopped letting him see his father because he came out as
I
gay.
think that's what he mentioned.
I think
then
that's why he moved
away.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought that's why he hadn't seen him, because he came out.
Girl, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, she said I thought he did time.
No, can't. No, girl. No, he came out the closet, child.
Oh my goodness, that came out.
Mama say no.
Listen, this power. You can't be talking about coming out.
EJ, I need you to go back and watch it.
Listen,
you know what's crazy? I got that the first time, and on the rewatch, I was in the same place as EJ. So
listen. Oh, that's so funny to me, y'all. That is hilarious.
EJ was like, "You did time."
I thought he did some time. Shit. Oh, so you came out? My bad.
Came out the closet.
Oh, he should have said came out the closet. I would have got it.
He should have been clear. Okay, he should have been crystal clear.
Never mind. So I retract all of what I just said. Rewind that.
And maybe Brillo don't know that either, because Brillo is hard on this man. Brillo give this man a hard time, so we're gonna talk to Brillo. As Brillo,
we're gonna have to go back and look at that. Dang, Candy, you done just girl. Lord have mercy, I done just dogged this man out like slightly. So, anywho, hey Samara.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, that was funny right there. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna move on from that one. So we got Tommy and JP. So we figure out who the son is, because they're going to actually go to a clip where they show him, he has this thing and he has a picture of his father. So we immediately learn who the father is. Y'all, I'm sorry, but don't y'all think we should have waited for that, for like a little bit more of anticipation of who the son was? Why did we have to get that in the beginning? That was one of my gripes. I'm not trying to be too nitpicky, but I felt like we just learned this big piece of information. I'm like, dang, they could have like saved that for later
Mhm.
for like a build up of suspense or whatnot. Okay, I'm gonna let that go though. So we find out about DMAC, that DMAC is JP's son. And then we talked about this already, y'all. But how Tommy get to them people? How he get to them? How he get Candy? You seem to be paying more attention. How he get to them people? Cause
I
They
he,
don't
don't
know.
show it.
To my Rojas people,
yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know. You know what? So when they were doing their deliveries, he was paying attention. Remember, him and Diamond was talking, and Diamond was like, "So you trying to figure out my city?" So maybe that's how. But he's good with being uh covered up with not knowing where he's going. The back in the day with him and Ghost when Lobos used to kidnap them, adult nap them. So maybe he's good with direction or something. I
I
don't
don't know,
know,
girl. I don't know
but
how Tommy got to them people, y'all. But somehow, some way, Tommy got to the people. He doubles back to Diamond and Jannard, and he shows them the shirt. And
Mhm.
Jannard is just sitting up there looking crazy, like crazy. I'm
They
like,
back up from Diamond. Him and Jeremiah. They walk back up from Diamond like, oh God, who is this man? This man crazy.
and you
But
can
if you
tell right
feel
there.
that way about him, why are you so against him? I would be trying to ride with this dude.
Okay, let me be
I
friends
wouldn't
with
be
you.
listen, because you showing me a shirt. Like, I know he didn't give it to you.
And it had blood on it. So
Okay, yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. I
I
loved
don't
how they was in the trunk screaming, saying what they was gonna do. I said, y'all in the trunk, what y'all
right.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Talk
Y'all
They,
not
junk.
finna get out the trunk.
mm.
But obviously I gotta skip back, y'all, because I gotta go talk about one of my favorite characters that
Yes.
we actually got to meet. And I wanted to talk about her separately because I also felt like this was a huge disservice to the show as well, because I felt like this was a character that could have stayed around for a little while longer. This was a strong character, and I think they messed up and dropped the ball by killing her or unaliving her. I'm sorry. But Liliana, so we're gonna meet Liliana earlier when she jumps Tommy because she thinks Tommy is coming to get her. Talk about Liliana, Tamika. What did you think about her? Just all of her scenes. I think she has like two.
Yeah, for me, when like the first time watching when Liliana popped up, it was like, okay, who is this? And of course, once he said, um, like every time Ghost lets somebody go and we see the scar and she mentions Julio looking out for, then it kind of came back to because she wasn't such a major player in the original Power, but it was like, okay, yeah, I remember that happening. So I was kind of like, wow, out of everybody they could pick to come, this is who they have. And then she became a favorite. I just felt like she
Mm-hmm.
came in with a bang. She was giving Tommy a run for his money. He couldn't just, get over on her quick. And of course, she's thinking that he done came here to track her down, and he's thinking she knows, um, that he's there and she's told other people, but it really was just one of them things where she, heard about him and they bumped into each other. And I definitely agree with you. I feel like they dropped the ball on this character. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And out of everybody y'all could take out, and for her to be taken out like that after all the stuff she did, I'm like, bring back Liliana. Y'all can figure out a way.
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
Y'all bring
please
back
find a way to bring her back.
bring her
Like,
back. Like that's who
yeah,
you should bring back.
I need them to.
It seems like they wasted her character for what I don't know. It
Mhm.
really does. I wholeheartedly agree with you 100%. All right, y'all. So we are almost at that hour mark. I wanted to just talk about a couple of more things I want to bring up. I didn't talk a lot about Claudia. Claudia, in these first two episodes, we see the struggle that she's having. She's trying to fit in, but she can't fit in. But she is trying to go and do her own thing. So we're going to talk more about her when we get into episodes 3 and 4. So I just want y'all to think that I completely forgot about her. It's just that she didn't do a whole lot in this, and we know what her issue is in the first two episodes. She just trying to be seen at this point, but we do see that she goes to the club and she has a designer drug and she wants to try to implement this into their family business, but the father isn't having it because he's trying to stay old school. Now we are also going to see where Vic and Gloria are a thing. and you know, she just is like, you know, you got to be with the Irish woman. Like, you can't be with me. And she just let him know straight up, but he still wants to be with her. What do y'all think about this Gloria and Vic relationship with his stalker self? Because he was definitely stalking at the end, y'all. Just saying, stalker. But Tika, you go ahead and start, and then Tamika, you go after her.
Okay. I think in the beginning it was like a relationship of convenience. He had money. She didn't come from, or didn't seem to come from, a whole lot of money. I think he even helped invest in that business, which is why she's laundering that money through her business. Um, the relationship was like y'all, like you said, stalkerish. Like, bruh, like give me my key back. But he wasn't with it. He was just like, girl, basically, I own you. We're going to be together. And then she did have a moment where she thought about it. She loved him, but she still didn't appreciate the circumstances that she was given to have to deal with him through the racism, the ignorance of his father. So she loved him, but she just didn't want to deal with everything that came along with him. And then she got that D from Tommy. It was like, okay, I got options. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Gloria.
That's what's up. What do you think about Gloria and Vic and just their whole dynamics in these first two episodes, Tamika?
I think Tika summed it up pretty good. And like I said, it's not like she was ever lying to him. You know, she seemed pretty straightforward, telling him how she felt, where she saw things going, and he just didn't want to let it. He didn't want to let it go, let it flow. He was still trying to convince himself, convince her. Like you said, he lurking behind, corners watching, and he's coming in the house unannounced. Because I was like, oh no, honey, give me back my key. Don't show up to my house unannounced. But you definitely could see that she still cared about him, but she was just being real with herself and him that nah, this is not gonna work. And he already didn't care for Tommy, so of course him seeing, Tommy with her like this MF. That really pissed him off. It was like all the women you could bump into in Chicago now you're gonna be, messing with, because he asked her at one point if she's seeing someone else or is there someone else, and she was like no. And then you also seen her about to tell Tommy about him, and Tommy was kind of like, I don't care about nobody. You ain't gotta tell me nothing else. I don't need to know nothing else. I'm good. So,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
was kind of like that was on him at that point.
Yeah. Hey, Monique Nicole. Yeah, Monique, 69 Ways Johnson said that Liliana, the writers, dropped the ball on this character. So you brought, so you brought her back for her to die. Exactly. That's exactly what it felt like.
I
Exactly.
agree.
That was a waste.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and round this on up. That's pretty much all that happened in this particular episode. I felt like episodes 1 and 2 really were where they just kind of bombarded us with a bunch of characters and introduced them to us, and that's kind of how we kind of develop. And I feel like it does kind of pick up as we move forward. So I am excited to go back and rewatch it and kind of see the things that I missed. And Candy, shout out to you for helping a sister out. I'm about to go look at it again. Now I have to go look at that one particular part. But if do you have any takeaways? What's your any takeaways from episodes 1 and 2, Candy? Anything? Any last words?
I need them to pick it up, but yet slow it down, if that makes sense. Like pick up the storyline. Like what is the next step for Tommy? Like what is he going to do? Is he trying to grow, get some roots there? Or is he just trying to make money like he told Diamond, enough money? Diamond asked him how much. He said, I don't know. So what is his goal? Is, of course he's not going to California now. So for me, it's like, what is Tommy's end game? Is he going to be permanently in Chicago or what? Of course, he befriends Liliana, which I love, and Diamond. Yeah, per se. Yeah, I don't know about Diamond. He's so fine to be so timid.
Silly girl.
But I like the Tommy and Liliana dynamic. He's she's his number 2, which I appreciate them doing that. I just hate they wasted a character. of course, always looking forward to anything with Tommy in it, no matter what. Like Tika said, it could be anything. It could be trash, and I'm going. It could be Tommy and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm watching it. So I'm just always looking forward to anything with Tommy and his power, him showing his power and enforcing it. Enforce.
Exactly. I totally agree, Monique. Tommy needs a strong team to back him for sure. And he definitely had a strong partner in Liliana. So like we've all said, that is a disservice, but we don't know where they're going to go with this and who they're going to possibly bring in to, maybe do something different. A big turn off for women are men that won't stand up, protect them against the family. Vic isn't powerful enough to stand up to his father. Yeah, he was doing too much. And Tommy is my white boy crush. Okay, yeah. Tommy looked like he got a strong back, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Listen,
but anyway. But Tika, what's going on your channel, ma'am?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This weekend I got two red carpet events. One is going to consist of a screening of a film entitled Finding Destiny. It's got my boy Blue Kimball in it, also known as Andrew. So if he's on the red carpet, I will be pulling up on him. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I will be doing a recap and a rating of that movie, Finding Destiny, next Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel, All Things Ruthless. And as EJ always says, keep the notifications on because you never know when your girl go pop up. We got all the Queen's Men coming back this week too, so you never know. So just stay locked in. I appreciate it.
Tonight.
Tell Blue Kimball I said what up. Tell him I said
girl, I will.
Hey Blue. Hey Andrew.
Okay. Tamika, what you got going on your channel, girl? You stay busy.
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to be doing Sisters right now, but I was up here, so I'll probably be doing that when I get off. I got some, videos to do tonight. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow, chat? I'm telling you, I'm losing. Yeah. I think tomorrow we have a movie night, so EJ will give y'all the breakdown about that, and I think we're also joining Moochie for like a pre-game shy. And Friday, I'm doing Love During Lockup. Saturday, I'm doing Self-Care and What You Should Be Watching, part 2 for both of those. And just keep your notifications on. Got some other stuff I'm trying to, get together. That's it.
That's what's up. So yeah, for me, my channel, I had to think about it, y'all. Hold on. For my channel, we are going to be doing movie night tomorrow. Well, that's Moochie, Tamika and I. So that's a collaboration that we're doing. We do Moochie. We do Moochie. God dang. We do movie night. We do movie night every Thursday, y'all. It's a movie night with the ladies, and we just do different movies. You never know what movies it's gonna be, but we do different movies. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing Deadly Entanglement, which is a BET Plus original. So if you haven't checked that out, then definitely check it out. We're gonna be talking about that tomorrow on Sunday, of course, Tika Deshawn and I are going to be doing All the Queen's Men. Candy Love will be with us. Tamika, I think you're going to be with us. And Moochie is supposed to be with us as well. So Nita might be with us. So y'all, it'll be all of us chilling again, talking about All the Queen's Men and all the shenanigans that's going on down there. And then we got the shy, of course, that Tamika talked about. We got the pregame, and then of course we have the review. Tamika, Moochie, and I are actually going to be doing the review on Monday, I believe. Yeah, it's a lot going on, so I've been trying to remember all these schedules. But Monday, so definitely check us out there as we recap and discuss the first episode of The Shy. I'm excited about The Shy coming back out, y'all. So I can't wait to talk about it. But that's pretty much what I have going on, guys. Want to thank everybody for coming out to talk about power. Want to thank everybody in the chat. Monique 69 Ways, Tariq, Matthew, thank you for coming out. Monique Nicole, Samara came through. Detroit Kings came through. Jeremiah came through. Moochie, she came through. Matthew, thank you for coming through. Avante came through as well. well. So thank you guys so much. DeMarcus, as always, brother, we appreciate you. Daria, thank you for coming through. So we're gonna get up out of here, guys. Once again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.
Good night.